asked all the time, can I just go use AI to get HR compliant and reduce risk for my company? And the short answer is no. Let me explain why. Let's talk about why AI fails at HR compliance. Well, first, please pull up your AI and actually type into the AI how many employment or labor laws exist in the United States. And what you'll find is that the AI does not know the answer to that question because AI doesn't have all of the laws. And if we're talking about being HR compliant, which simply means following HR laws, the starting point is you must have all of the laws. You cannot be compliant with the laws if you don't have the laws to start with. And AI doesn't have the laws. AI goes to the internet and or looks at what's been stored within it, and it looks for answers contained within what it can find. And on the internet, it's not yet connected to or cannot find all of the HR or employment laws, which is why it can't answer the question. It also is unable to actually create compliant policies or procedures, documents, agreements, notices, posters, training, because it doesn't have the laws to connect to. It doesn't know that in Alabama, there's a specific law that ties to a specific policy, and it needs to be written this way. And therefore, when you go to AI, it fails. The other reason that AI fails is that it's unable to actually create information in a way that your employees are able to understand it and you can prove it. So let me explain that. Let's say that we use AI to create a policy and somehow magically it actually creates that policy and that policy follows the laws that it doesn't have. But let's just pretend. Now, that AI has given you a document, but the AI doesn't deliver that document to your people and it can't prove that your people read and understood that document. In fact, if you don't have a way to deliver that information, then track that your employees either viewed, acknowledged, or signed that document, you're not actually compliant and are unable to reduce risk. So while AI may seem like a fast and easy way to create rules, policies, agreements, and so forth, what it ends up doing is providing a false sense of security that doesn't actually reduce risk. And we've seen this over and over again in court cases where companies have used AI to create policies only then to end up in court and the court look at the policy and realize that the policy isn't compliant or that the company is unable to prove that the employee understood, read, and or acknowledged that individual policy. The other issue with AI is that it will hallucinate, meaning that if it doesn't have the information it needs, it will make things up. And you have no way of knowing what parts of what it's writing are actually factual and true versus those parts that are hallucinations, things that don't actually work. I'm not against AI. AI is brilliant. It's great for lots of different things. But when we're talking about being HR compliant or reducing HR risk, AI fails. And it fails because it doesn't have the basic information needed in order to get HR right, in order to get your company compliant and reduce risk. And that's why AI fails.